My kids have been sick for a week, so this morning I got to sneak away and do a little practice at the park and kind of renew myself so I could show up to them and parent more lovingly and patient. And as I was practicing this morning, I was thinking about my inner shame dialogue. So the difference between shame and guilt is shame is directed at self and guilt is directed at the behavior. So if you do something bad and you think that behavior is bad, that's guilt. But if you do something bad and you think yourself is bad, that's shame. And that's something I've struggled with my whole life. If I make a mistake, I'm like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. And I really see it in all areas of my life, how I talk to myself, how I argue with my husband, and I don't want to pass this on to my kids, and it's something I'm very proactive with. And I've been listening to Brene Brown, an author I love, audiobook, The Gift of Imperfect Parenting. And it's so good at pointing this out, and I've really been able to see it. And this is something I think about when I do yoga, because I do a really high level of alignment in my yoga practice, really looking at all the different places where I go out of alignment and seeing how I can best use action to bring myself into more optimal alignment so I can experience more ease and health and clarity and vibrancy in my body, mind, and heart. And one thing I need to do when I do this is when I notice a misalignment, I don't go to that shame-based thinking of your knee's hyperextending, you're a piece of shit. Instead, it's your knee is hyperextending. What a great way to use this opportunity to bring yourself back into more health. So that's what I've been thinking with a lot. I've been especially looking at my knees and my ribs and my shoulders. How can I keep these joints in optimal alignment? So the knees have a slight bend in them. The ribs use the core integration to keep them pulled in. And the shoulders are drawn onto the back strongly. So how can I use my alignment as a way of bringing myself into more physical health, but also how can I use this alignment practice of noticing the areas that could use improvement and seeing them as just that, a place that can use improvement, and then bring them into that optimal alignment so that when I'm out in the real world and I respond to my kid in a way I don't like, or I spill something on the floor or whatever it is, it becomes another area of, oh, that wasn't in optimal alignment with how I want to be acting. So instead of going back to that shame, I can go back to, okay, this is an opportunity to grow and to learn so I can continue to show up in the world as a more patient, loving, tolerant, kind, and useful person. That was a big ramble for my practice, but I hope you enjoyed watching it. And in this practice, I was working a lot with inversions. I was using inversions because I wanted to flip myself upside down to give myself a new perspective and a renewed dose of vitality so I can show up with enthusiasm and love to help heal on my sick kiddos. And I also did some heart opening, some big back bends. I ended up doing some Urdhva Dhanurasanas after this, but the video wasn't working out very well. But again, back bends for let my heart just be so full that when I give my sick kiddos loves, that my love just pours into them. Okay, let me know if you liked this video. That was just a big ramble on my thoughts about shame and guilt. So I hope you really can not shame yourself. You are incredibly intrinsically good no matter what your actions are. So can we view ourselves and love ourselves from this place? And can we practice connecting to that place of intrinsic goodness from our yoga practice?